folks, I'm just outside of Rotorua, heading down to Wellington tonight. This is the new Steed. Can you guess what it is? Now, as you know, I've been looking for a cruiser, or if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been looking for a cruiser, something that me and Danny can go two up on, and we'll just cruise around. So if you watch my other videos, you know my requirements for this bike are fuel injection, shaft drive, and decent power. So that kind of limited my choices, and my budget was around about 10,000 New Zealand dollars. So those factors all kind of limited my choices between sort of 3 or 4 bikes. There was the Kawasaki Vulcan, the 1500, the Suzuki C90 1500. There was obviously the bigger alternatives to those bikes, but I wasn't really keen on the bigger ones. They were looking way too big for me, way too heavy. So Kawasaki, the Suzuki, and really that's kind of about it, to be honest. There was a couple of Harley Davidsons I was looking at that were within my budget, but then I would lose the shaft drive. So what I ended up with was a 2002 Kawasaki Meanstreak. I was looking at the Vulcans, and they would better probably suit our needs, but I seen this Meanstreak pop up, and I thought, you know, this looks pretty good in this kind of burnt orange colour. That was another thing. Most of the bikes I was looking at were black, which, yeah, black looks cool, but they're all just kind of same. So I seen this one pop up in this orange colour, and I was like, well, that's a bit different. I'll have that. So the Kawasaki Meanstreak. So it's kind of based on the Vulcan, but it's more of the sports version of it. So it's got, I think, 10-15% more power than the 1500 Vulcan. It's got hotter cams, and I think it's got a little bit more compression ratio. Just a wee bit more power than that. And it's got better suspension. It's got upside down forks on the front, air assist forks on the rear, air assist shocks, sorry. And it's got like 6-pot calipers on the front. So it's kind of like a sportier version of the Vulcan. Now the downside to that being is the seat. When I get off and show you, the passenger seat isn't really up to much. So there's a high possibility that we will need to change that seat. Whereas the Vulcan and the C90 Kawasaki Suzuki, they had a pretty much decent seat for 2-up work, so I wouldn't have to change that. But I would be sacrificing looks and a wee bit of power going to them bikes. Now looking at the specs of this bike, it doesn't actually have that much power. I was kind of not sure if I'd like it or not, and I haven't ridden 2-up yet, obviously, so I don't know how I'm going to find it, but it's got more power than the Suzuki and the Vulcan that we were looking at, so I'm sure it'll be alright. So this just came up, it ticked every box apart from the seat, but there's enough room in the budget left to buy a good seat for that. So like I said, this was about halfway in my budget, just about. It's about $6,500 I paid for this. But obviously I've got to come up and get the bloody thing. So up in Rotorua. Now I did look at transportation. I got a quote from Bike Trans, and they were wanting $750 to transport it up, which wasn't too bad, but the flight was $250, and I'm getting the ferry for $90. I'm staying in Wellington the night, which I actually had a credit on the Airbnb, so it's only costing me $28 for that for tonight, and the rest will be fuel. So I reckon I could probably get back home for maybe $500-600, which is worth it, and I get to make a cool video on the way as well. So here she is, 2002 Meanstreak Kawasaki. So yeah, overall pretty good nick. A couple of wee paint chips here and there, and she needs a wee clean up. There's a bit of corrosion on the aluminium and that, but overall pretty darn good. It's got a Ramflow air filter. Not sure what that's going to be like in the rain. I might end up putting the original one back on. Comes with these panniers. It's had paint protection work put on there just for that pannier strap, which is quite good. I'll probably get rid of those panniers. I don't know. Don't look too bad. It's got new tyres on it. It's got a tail tidy on it. It's actually quite a comfy seat stock for me. That's the stock seat for Danny. I can't imagine that's going to be up to much fun, to be honest. 41,000 kilometres on her, which is bugger all. Sounds pretty good there. But also at 100k it's silent, so that's quite good. Just put the first tank of gas in her there at, fuel light was coming on around about 110 k's, which isn't very good. The owner, the guy who bought it from, said it could do about 160 till it's on solid. It was flashing on and off. So I think I put fuel in it there, it was about 130, and it took 11 litres. It's a 17 litre tank, which isn't that good on fuel. Reading online, I should easily get 50 miles to the gallon. So I mean, I should get to 200 plus k's out of it. So we'll see how we go this time. Maybe it wasn't completely full when he filled it up last. And like I say, it's just barely fucking idling at 100 k's here, 3,000 RPM. You can't even hear the motor running or feel it. It's just nice and smooth. And I'm going to do some googling and see what, because that front end feels funny at low speeds. Could just be the way the bike is, but yeah, I've never ridden another cruiser. Just feels like you've got a flat tyre. But I just checked it there and there was 36 in it, which is what the sticker says this bike's meant to have in it. So that's all good. So you've got some money left in the budget. I might possibly change the seat, see how Danny finds that one, but look at getting a new seat, probably a Mustang seat. Get a sissy bar for her, like a wee backrest for her so she doesn't fall off. Not sure whether I want to get one for myself or not. There's quite a big price difference on the Mustang seat if I want to get a backrest for myself. I don't know, never ridden with a backrest before. You get power commanders and things like that, maybe, I don't know. Possibly might put the standard air filter back on as well, because I'm not sure how that one would do in the rain. I need to do some googling on that fact. Yeah, I don't really like the thought of it just being like an exposed air filter like that. Anyway, it's quite a nice ride going down the desert road in a wee bit, which is where I got a speeding ticket when I came up here for the 1600, so I'll need to just be careful there. Although the cops probably won't stop me on this bike because they'll think I'm a badass. So I'll probably be alright.
I'm having the time of my life. Everything is going alright. Ooh, I just made them look twice. This is how it feels when you living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. Good life. I'ma do me, I can't do it no different. Gold shades tinted, yeah, I got the right vision, yeah. I won't let you down, we about to paint the town. Got the people all around, we been surfing on the crown, yeah. We them cool kids with the roof down. Yeah, we let loose, so lighten up, break the rules now. Yeah, we wild out the house with the tunes loud. On top of the clouds, looking round. Yo, how we ever getting down? Oh, I'm just going with the flow.
And down over there.
You just gotta let me know. I think
Jesus Christ.
Go one time for the gram, no. Go ahead, strike the pose. Got the city on lock. They ain't seen nothing like it. Got the whole spot popping. Ooh, it gets so exciting. Had the time of your life. Can I get that in writing? Ay. And tell them everybody invited. I'm having the time of my life. Everything is going alright. Ooh, I just made them look twice. This is how it feels when you living that good life.
Well, good morning everybody. I didn't do too much recording last night because it was pissing rain pretty much the whole way well, pretty much the last half, it was just pouring. And the traffic was unbelievable, man. But the bike went okay. I'm surprised by that. Air filter did pretty well in the rain. I didn't really notice any difference, so that was good. And it was pretty heavy too. It's just stayed in Petone last night, or Petone, I don't know how the hell you say it. Petone, one of those. Just an Airbnb, it was alright. So I'm on the 8 o'clock Blue Bridge ferry. It's the first time I've been on the Blue Bridge ferry, and it gets in to Picton at 11:30. So we'll see how we go, and I should be home. Google Maps says about just over 6 hours. Of course, that's very dependent on roadworks at Kaikoura, because they can be a nightmare sometimes. It shouldn't be too bad being a Sunday, but we'll just have to see how we go. So anyway, I'll speak to you all on the other side. That's us in Picton. Ferry crossing was pretty good. It's what, 11:30 now, so left at 8. 3.5 hours, that's not too bad. Just gotta go and stop and get some fuel and then hit the road.
I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. Good life. It's not exaggerated, I just had to say it. Look how we graduated, I'm so glad you made it. Cause we got all that we wanted, couldn't hate if they wanted to. We live it without a limit, yeah, we do what we wanna do. Now throw your hands up one time. They think that we lost our minds. Well, maybe we did, maybe that's just how we live. Maybe that's all that we want. Maybe it is what it is. That's a life we're living. We're just living our life. That's a life. I'm having the time of my life. Everything is going alright. Oh, I just made them look twice.
So I just filled up there, 228 Ks, and it took 10.5 litres. That's pretty darn good actually. Pretty darn good, I can't really complain to that. I mean, it's a 17 litre tank, so surely I've got 300 Ks in there. The fuel light wasn't on when I filled up there, but I just wasn't sure how far. Well, 54 Ks to the next town. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd make that. Yeah, so surely I could go 300 Ks on this bike, surely. I mean, that's not a bad range, 300, well, even if you say conservatively 250, that's not too bad of a range, to be honest. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. The bike's going well. It's about another 180 Ks to go. The bike is going well so far. I like it. You know, I was actually considering the Boulevard 800 for a while, because they're real cheap. And I think they look pretty good. And if you read online, everybody says, oh, they're great for 2-up, but yeah, I don't think that would be enough power for me, like. I was thinking another reason why my arse is getting so sore is because in the DR, when you're riding, your feet are underneath you, so if you start to get sore arse, like, you just put more weight on your feet, less weight on your arse, whereas with my feet out in front of me like this, I can't do that. If I put weight on my feet, it just slides my bum back. So that'd be another reason why I'm getting a sore arse. It's not terrible. Definitely going to get a seat for it. I was looking at either the Mustang seat or the Corbin seat, but the Corbin seat's bloody expensive. So I'm going to get the Mustang seat. I'm not sure if I want to get a backrest for me or not. If I get a backrest for me, it puts it over the $1,000 mark, which means I'll get charged import fees as well. So it's going to cost like $1,500 if I do that. Whereas if I get just a standard seat, no backrest, it's about $800 delivered, which isn't too bad. I've got a couple of quotes from people in New Zealand to recover this seat with better foam, and that's going to be about $600. The only thing with that is if I get this seat recovered and it's just still the original seat, at least if I buy a Mustang seat, if we do ever sell the bike, if we do ever sell the bike, I could sell the seat separately, which is probably the route I'm going to go, to be honest.
This is how it feels when you living that good, good life. I'm just living that good, good life. I'm just living that good, good life. I'm just living that good, good life. Good, good life.
So that's me just going to Christchurch, so I'm just going to end the video here. The bike performed great over the whole trip. No issues at all. It did well in the rain, which I was surprised at with the air filter. Next on my to-do list, I need to get those head bearings done because they're not really that safe to be riding on. And I'm going to give it a service and then get a seat ordered and a backrest for Danny made up. Overall, I'm very happy with the bike. I think it's in pretty good condition for its age. I think I got it for a good price. And I worked out, after I got home, I worked out, fly up and ride it back home, it cost me $520. So I saved myself about $230 as opposed to getting shipped. And that was including all the food I ate, the ferry, the flights, the accommodation, and all the fuel as well. So I'm well chuffed with that. Plus I got to make a cool video along the way. So anyway, I hope you liked this video of me picking up the Meanstreak, and stay tuned for more videos starring the bike. Now hopefully next weekend it's going to be nice weather and me and Danny can get out for a wee blast on it, see what it's like to up. So thanks for watching, give this video a wee like, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later.
I'm just living that good, good life. I'm just living that good, good life. Good, good life.